Something quietly happened a few weeks ago that could affect the price of almost everything you buy, the phone in your pocket, the car you drive, and even your ability to protect your savings. And there is a very good chance you heard absolutely nothing about it. If you are interested in money, finance, or changing your financial future, like this video and subscribe right now, because what you are about to learn can change the way you see money forever. China just dropped what could be one of the most significant export restrictions in recent memory. They moved to severely limit the export of silver, one of the most important industrial metals on the planet. And the response from mainstream Western media? Almost total silence. No breaking news banners, no financial alerts, just quiet. And that silence, more than anything else, should terrify you. Because here is the thing about financial events that happen quietly. They are usually the ones that end up hitting regular people the hardest. The crashes that make headlines are the ones where people had some warning. The moves that happen in the shadows? Those are the ones that wipe out savings accounts and send prices through the roof before anyone even realizes what happened. And this silver story is moving in the shadows right now. So let me tell you exactly what happened, why it matters, and most importantly, what it means for you, a regular person just trying to make sense of a world where the financial ground beneath your feet keeps shifting. Let's start with silver itself, because most people think about silver the way they think about expensive jewelry or old coins their grandmother kept in a box. But that picture is dangerously out of date. Today, silver is not primarily a precious metal. It is an industrial weapon. It is inside your smartphone. It is inside electric vehicle batteries. It is inside solar panels. It is used in medical equipment, water purification systems, and advanced electronics. Every single time the world tries to go green or digital, it needs more silver, not less, more. And here's where the story gets really interesting. China is not just a consumer of silver. China is the world's largest producer and refiner of silver. They sit at the center of the global silver supply chain the way a spider sits at the center of a web. And when China decides to pull those threads, every part of that web shakes. Now, I want you to really sit with that for a second before we move on. Because most people, when they hear China restricts silver exports, think it's some distant geopolitical news story that has nothing to do with their life. But I'll explain in a moment why that thinking is exactly the kind of mistake that quietly makes regular people poorer. First, though, you need to understand what actually happened. In early 2025, China began tightening controls on silver exports as part of a broader strategy to manage what they call critical mineral resources. This is not accidental. This is not bureaucratic paperwork. This is deliberate. China looked at the global race for clean energy technology, looked at the Western world's desperate need for silver to build solar panels and electric vehicles, and made a calculated move. They essentially said, this resource matters enormously for the future, and we are going to control more of it. This is the same playbook they ran with rare earth metals, a group of materials used in everything from wind turbines to military missiles. Back in 2010, China briefly cut rare earth exports to Japan during a territorial dispute, and the global tech industry nearly had a heart attack. Prices went through the roof overnight. Countries scrambled, companies panicked, and then the world quietly accepted that China held enormous power over the materials that run modern civilization. Silver is that story happening again. Except this time, the stakes might be even higher. Here's something nobody talks about. The world's solar energy ambitions are almost entirely dependent on silver. A single solar panel uses roughly 20 grams of silver. That sounds small, right? But think about this. To hit global clean energy targets, the world needs to install billions of solar panels over the next decade. Analysts have been warning for years that there is a coming silver supply crunch just from solar demand alone. And now, on top of that demand explosion, the biggest exporter just started restricting supply. You do not need to be an economist to understand what happens when demand goes up and supply goes down at the same time. Prices go up, and those prices eventually get passed to ordinary people through higher energy bills, higher product costs, higher prices for the technology you buy every single year. But wait, because this is where most people miss the deeper story. Let me take you one level further down, because this is the part that really changes how you see what is happening. China's move on silver is not an isolated decision. It is part of a much larger pattern that has been building for years. Think about what China has done recently. They restricted exports of gallium and germanium, two metals critical for semiconductors. They moved to control graphite exports, essential for electric vehicle batteries. They placed restrictions on rare earth processing technology. And now silver. Each one of these moves, on its own, looks like a minor trade policy tweak. But when you step back and look at all of them together, a very clear picture emerges. China is methodically taking control of the raw material supply chains that the entire modern global economy depends on. And they are doing it while the Western world is distracted by inflation headlines, political drama, and social media news cycles that move too fast for anyone to notice the slow, strategic moves happening underneath. This is not conspiracy. This is documented policy. China calls it resource security. And they are executing it with the patience and precision of someone playing a very long game of chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Now here is the uncomfortable truth that almost no financial channel will tell you directly. The countries that will feel this the most are not the rich, powerful governments. Those governments have reserves, stockpiles, and diplomatic tools. The people who will feel this most are ordinary workers and families. People like a factory worker in Germany who relies on manufacturing jobs that need cheap raw materials, or a middle-class family in America trying to afford an electric vehicle as gas prices keep rising, or a young person in Pakistan or India trying to buy their first smartphone as electronics prices quietly creep higher year after year. The financial pain of geopolitical resource wars always trickles down to regular people last, but it still arrives. So what does this mean for silver as an asset? And what should you, a regular person trying to protect your financial future, actually understand about this? Here's something that will shock you. At the time of this video, silver is still dramatically undervalued compared to gold on a historical basis. The gold to silver ratio, which just means how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold, has historically averaged around 50 to 1. Sometimes it goes to 60, sometimes lower. Right now, that ratio is sitting well above 80, which historically has meant silver is cheap relative to gold. Every time in history that the gold to silver ratio has stretched this high, silver has eventually moved sharply higher to correct that imbalance. And that was before a supply restriction from the world's largest silver exporter entered the picture. I want to be very clear here. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to run out and buy silver tomorrow. What I am telling you is that the conditions that create significant price movements in any commodity are supply shock combined with demand growth. And right now, both of those conditions are present in silver simultaneously. That is a combination that does not come along often. And most regular people will miss it entirely because the mainstream financial media is not talking about it. But here is what I really want you to think about. And this is the deeper financial lesson hidden inside the silver story. Most people interact with the global economy as pure consumers. They buy things, they pay prices, they absorb whatever cost increases get passed to them. They have no shield, no protection, no way to benefit when commodity prices rise. They just pay more. That is the financial reality for the majority of people on this planet. They are always on the receiving end of economic forces they never see coming. But there is another way to exist in this economy. And the difference between those two ways of being is not intelligence. It is not even access to money. It is awareness. It is knowing what is happening beneath the surface of the economy, understanding why it matters, and making small, intentional decisions as a result. The wealthy do not become wealthy because they are lucky. They become wealthy because they pay attention to the slow, quiet shifts that everyone else ignores, and they position themselves ahead of those shifts rather than reacting to them after the fact. The silver story is exactly that kind of shift. And the fact that you are watching this video right now means you are already doing something that most people around you are not. You are paying attention. Now let me bring this back to something even more personal, because I think there is an emotional truth here that the numbers alone cannot capture. Think about a family. Let's call them the Khans. They live in a mid-sized city. Both parents work. They are not rich, but they are not poor either. They are in that enormous invisible middle, earning enough to survive, but never quite enough to feel financially safe. Every few years, something in the global economy shifts and they feel a little more pressure. Electricity bills go up. Their next car costs more than they expected. The laptop they need to buy for their kids' school costs noticeably more than last year. They never quite connect the dots between those rising prices and a decision made in a government office in Beijing or Washington. The economic forces that shape their life feel invisible to them, like weather, something that just happens, something you cannot control or prepare for. Most families in the world are the Khans, moving through an economy they do not fully understand, absorbing costs they never saw coming, wondering why it feels like no matter how hard they work, it is always just slightly harder to get ahead than it was before. And here is what breaks my heart about that picture. The information that could change their financial perspective is available. It exists. It is in videos like this one. It is in the patterns of global trade and resource politics that repeat themselves over decades. The gap between the financially aware and the financially unaware is not a gap in intelligence or opportunity alone. It is a gap in attention, in curiosity, in asking the uncomfortable question, wait, why is this happening and what does it mean for me? That question is the beginning of financial literacy, not understanding complex derivatives, not knowing how to read a balance sheet, just asking with genuine curiosity why money moves the way it does, and then following that question wherever it leads. This is where everything changes for the person willing to do that work. Because when you understand that China restricting silver is not random, it is part of a long-term strategic shift in global economic power, you start to see other patterns too. You start to notice that the same thing is happening with food security, with water rights, with energy infrastructure. The world is in the middle of a quiet restructuring of who controls the resources that matter most. And in that restructuring, the people who understand what is happening can at minimum protect themselves and at maximum position themselves to benefit. I am not going to pretend that a video about silver is going to make you rich. It will not. But here is what it can do. It can be the beginning of a different relationship with money and with the global economy. It can be the moment where you stop being purely a passenger in your own financial life and start being someone who at least partially understands the road. Let me give you the practical picture before we wrap up, because I want this to be genuinely useful. Silver's price, when China's export restrictions fully ripple through the market, will feel pressure from multiple sides simultaneously. Industrial buyers, solar manufacturers, electronics companies, EV battery producers will compete more intensely for available supply from non-Chinese sources. Countries like Mexico, Peru, and Australia, which also produce significant silver, will suddenly find their silver worth considerably more. The recycling of silver from old electronics will become economically much more attractive. And investors who watch commodity markets will notice the supply story and begin pricing in scarcity before it fully arrives. All of this compounds. And the timeline for when regular people feel it in their daily lives is not 10 years. Based on how fast the clean energy build-out is accelerating and how significant China's role in refining silver is, analysts who follow these markets closely are talking about years, not decades. Some say the supply gap becomes critically apparent within the next 3 to 5 years. That is not a lifetime away. That is the near future. And nobody is telling this to the ordinary person watching the evening news or scrolling through their social media feed. The financial media talks about stock market swings. They talk about interest rates. They talk about inflation in general terms. But the specific structural supply stories, the ones that tell you where price pressure is genuinely going to come from, those stories happen quietly. And the people who find them, understand them, and act on them before they become mainstream, those are the people who always seem to have made lucky decisions in hindsight. Except it was not luck. It was just paying attention earlier than everyone else. Here's the final thought I want to leave you with. And I want you to really feel this, not just hear it. There are two kinds of people in the world when it comes to money. There are people who react and people who prepare. The reactor waits until a financial shift shows up in their grocery bill or their electricity statement or the price of their next car. And then they adjust, usually from a position of stress and limited options. The preparer sees the shift coming even vaguely and makes small, quiet decisions ahead of time. Decisions that mean they are never completely blindsided, never completely at the mercy of forces they never understood. China's silver export ban is the kind of event that separates those two types of people, not because of the silver itself, but because of what choosing to understand it represents. It represents a decision to be financially awake in a world that profits enormously from keeping regular people financially asleep. The fact that you watch this far tells me you are someone who wants to be awake. And that matters more than any single trade or investment decision you will ever make. Financial awareness is a habit. It is a muscle. And every time you exercise it, every time you choose to understand something the mainstream is ignoring, every time you follow a financial story deeper than the headline, you build a version of yourself that is harder to blindside, harder to exploit, and much better positioned to actually build and protect wealth across a lifetime. So the question you need to sit with after this video is simple. Not, should I buy silver? That is a personal decision that depends entirely on your own situation, your own risk tolerance, your own financial foundation. The question is this: are you willing to keep paying attention? Are you willing to be the person in your family, in your friend group, in your community, who actually understands what is happening in the global economy and why it affects the daily financial reality of regular people? Because if the answer is yes, then this is just the beginning. There are more stories like this one. There are more quiet shifts happening beneath the surface of the global economy right now that will matter enormously to ordinary people within the next 5 to 10 years. And I will be here covering them, not for the financial professionals who already know this world, but for the regular person who just wants to understand and protect their financial future. The world does not warn you when it is about to change. It just changes. And the only protection any of us have is understanding enough to see it coming. If you learned something new today, make sure to subscribe to Money Insights and like this video. More powerful financial truths are coming next.